Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome. Today we're going to be doing a reading. This is going to be for anybody who has been drawn to this video. There is a message in here for you at this time, doing a little clearing. Really enjoying the fact that I can burn some Palo Santo right now. I'm not able to do that in my living environment right now. I am somewhere else for the day. And I think there's some significance to that energy of being somewhere else. Some of you finding this reading, I think maybe you need to perhaps go somewhere else for a little bit, get out of your routine, mix things up. There's a certain energy, whether this is your home space, whether this is somewhere that you go frequently, where something needs to be shaken up. You need to get out of, there's some sort of rut that you've fallen into, or there's some sort of heavy energy that needs to be moved, that needs to be shifted. And I do apologize if my eyes are all over the place. I'm recording on my phone again. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm not always looking in the right place. Ooh, there's a metaphor too, or an energy, right? Looking in the right place. Some of you feel that way, like you're constantly looking in the wrong place. And Spirit's saying there is no right or wrong place. It's not about the place. It's simply about the awareness. It's about remembering to be aware of your surroundings, remembering to take those moments to just breathe, to be fully present. Some of you finding this reading, you really need to become more present. There's a powerful lesson in that. And when you are more present, you will notice more of the energies around you. You will notice the signs, the synchronicities. You'll also notice the opportunities. And Spirit's saying there's some of this energy with opportunities, with recognizing the opportunities and placing yourself in the position to receive them. And it's not so much about worrying like, oh, I've got to get out more. I've got to do this. I've got to do that because I got to be able to meet these people or play my part in the situation. Like, it's not so much like that. Spirit's saying like whatever's meant for you will find you. You don't have to go out of your way feeling like you're always needing to be on the go in order to find them. Like, there's a way, just you going through your natural life, even if you're generally more of a hermit, the people you're meant to meet, the situations that are meant to find you, the opportunities, they're going to happen no matter what. But Spirit's saying it's more about mixing it up to get in the energy of newness, to get in the energy of freshness. Because when we do something different, when we do something spontaneous, we're calling in that energy, and we're calling in the energy of the new. This is for everybody who's wanting to switch timelines right now. You have to call in the energy of the new by doing new things, thinking in new ways, expressing in new ways. Call in that new energy. This is prime time for this. We just had the equinox Aries season kicking off the astrological new year. All right, this is eclipse season. We got Venus and Mercury in retrograde, which is an interesting energy during eclipse season, right? So there's a lot that's rehashing, that's revisiting. If you're finding this after this time period, don't worry. There's the energy here, the activations encoded here are still for you. We're bringing through activations of the equinox and springtime and the eclipse on the 29th, just so you know, regardless of when you're finding this. But if you are finding this during that time, you're receiving a lot of activations from the energy itself, right? Venus and Mercury through their retrograde, it's an integration. There's a lot of activations going on there. These eclipses are bringing their own activations. Your DNA is opening up and activating and unwinding in new ways. Right? When we talk about these activations, a lot of times we talk about them like they are, and my ear just popped. My ears have been ringing since I started talking. By the way, we've been talking about ear ringing. A lot of people have been curious about that and what that means. For me, it just means the energy is reaching a higher vibration, and it means that I'm on track, right? It's another synchronicity, like angel numbers for me. So, but Spirit's been saying these activations, right? Like, we think about them as some outer energy coming in and changing us, but it's actually happening from inside of us. When the light codes come in, right? And the light codes activate our DNA. So our DNA is actually opening and unlocking. That's what's happening when we're talking about activations. All right. So that's happening for everybody. It's happening for anybody. If you're finding this video, you are being activated, not just during this video, but you're being activated in your life in general. That's why you found this video. And so right now, Spirit is bringing through whatever you specifically need in order to become more activated, in order to, and I don't even like more activated, in order to integrate these activations, in order to allow this process to go more smoothly. Spirit is bringing through a little extra with this video. I guess that's where the more activated came from. So allow, simply allow and receive. All right, and these activations, you can imagine them. You can almost sense them, feel them. Take a moment to kind of feel that. Like, just visualize your DNA or set this intention to connect with your DNA and feel it opening, feel it moving, right? Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that exciting? Just feel into that for a moment. Sunlight, water, these things assist us when we're going through activations. Make sure you're getting as much of that as possible. Where I live, it actually just snowed again. It snowed like 2 days after spring started. So, take the sun where you can get it. Set that intention to connect with the Grand Central Sun and meditation. I've been wanting to bring through a meditation for people on that for so long, but it's so loud in my house that sometimes it's really hard to do so. But just feel that sun coming through right now. Feel it glistening on your skin. Feel it warming you. And feel your DNA unfold like a lotus flower, like a rose stretching its petals toward the Grand Central Sun. And just breathe, right? Just breathe. We always want to know so much as humans. We want to understand what's happening to us. We want videos about all the specifics. What portals and gateways are unlocking right now? What does this mean for the collective? What does this mean for us? What is the guidance? What is the guidance? What is the guidance? And Spirit's saying, the guidance is all right here. You are the guidance. You are the blueprint. You are the template. You are the ascension. And your journey is the unfoldment. Your journey. Your journey is going to be different from my journey. It's going to be different from anybody else's journey. They're all so unique, like fingerprints, right? When we talk about our soul's blueprint, Spirit wants us to imagine that like a fingerprint. Each is so unique. Each journey is so unique. What each of us experiences is so unique. Spirit is offering us an opportunity to stop seeking to understand and to simply allow, to simply observe your own experience and let that be enough, not to clog it up with all this extra information, right? We live in the age of information now. There is an infinite number of amount of information, right? Like information that we can digest and understand with the mind. But there's also information all around you in the quantum field, right? There's information everywhere you look, it's information, right? Energy is information, right? Light, love light. The light is the information, it's everywhere. It is everywhere. This information is filtering and flowing through us. It's interacting with the information in the atmosphere around us. There's like this biofeedback loop of energy and information, constant. There's a constant feed of it. And there's an infinite amount of information that you can tap into on a level beyond your conscious mind. And that's the information that Spirit wants us to become more attuned with, more in tune with. And we do that simply by breathing, simply by being, through meditation, right? Through that quiet, opening up that quiet space. That quiet space, the quiet is like a doorway, Spirit's saying. It's a doorway, and when we open up that doorway, we allow for that clarity to come in. We allow for that wisdom to come in. We allow for that. This is interesting. Spirits, we talk a lot about here on wisdom, right? One of my favorite things, quotes to share around wisdom is applied knowledge, right? But Spirit's wanting to deepen that understanding today of like wisdom, the difference between wisdom and knowledge. Knowledge is information, right? It's the accumulation of information. And it's particularly the information that we have accumulated and then begun the process of making sense of. Wisdom is deeper than that. Wisdom is when you know what to do with the information. That's what we mean by wisdom is applied knowledge. Wisdom takes all of that information, and this is kind of like the difference between Gemini energy and Sagittarius energy, right? Gemini is the collector of information. Sagittarius is the synthesizer of wisdom. So we take all that information, all that knowledge, we crystallize it into wisdom. We know what to do, how and where and when to apply this knowledge. We can differentiate which knowledge is essential and which is superfluous. And what I mean by that is simply like, it's sort of like when you read a book and the author takes 2 paragraphs to say 1 sentence. They may be 2 really beautiful paragraphs, but what is what is that 1 sentence that sums all of that up? It's about trimming out the excess. And that is part of what that lunar eclipse in Virgo was about, trimming out the excess. We're still in a period of that. And the reason that we're doing that right now is because we have so much more that's ready to come in. It's wanting to come in. But we need to get rid of all the fluff, basically. We need to trim the fat. I'm using a lot of little sayings right now, right? But we need to get rid of the fluff. We need to trim the fat. We need to really, I don't know why all these analogies or things are popping through right now. I almost said like skin the cat. That's a weird one though. But I was thinking of actually like sheep when they shave down the wool. I feel like in a way that's kind of like where we are right now. And the wool is like all the experiences that we've had in this next leg of our evolution or our journey. And this energy is shaving that down. Now, all of the important wisdom, all the important information, right, is still saved. It doesn't go anywhere. That is now part of our skin. It's like settled into the skin. But all the wool is like all the excess. And so that's being shaved away right now so that we are fresh, we are new, we're lighter, right? And we're ready to move into this next season of our lives where we accumulate more wool and the wool begins to grow again, right? And the wool, once again, is our experiences, our stories, all the layers and layers of information, right? And then, of course, we shore that back. We trim that down again as we continue to move through these seasons. So it's like Spirit's saying like part of this energy of like trimming the fat or is about trimming down the noise in our heads. This is a time where you can almost imagine like there's a dial in your brain, a volume dial for your thoughts. Imagine turning that dial down, maybe when you're meditating. Quieting all that noise. And there's a lot of noise with Mercury and Venus retrograde. As I'm recording this, they're in loose conjunction with the sun. All right, so that just really stimulates this, and especially in a fire sign with Mercury retrograde in a fire sign, there's a lot of background noise going on. So it's about finding ways to turn that down, becoming more practiced in turning that down. Anybody on a spiritual path, on a spiritual journey right now, Spirit is saying the most important aspect of this journey is learning how to turn down that volume of the chattering mind. If you're not working on doing that on a consistent basis, I'm just going to be blunt here. Like the message coming through is make that time, do it. No more excuses. Do it. If you're not making that time to connect with yourself, to connect with Spirit, you're going to miss everything. You're going to miss out on everything. Take that time. If you feel like you don't have that time, I want you to list out all the reasons why you don't have time. And then look at those objectively. Are those true? Are those real? Are those valid? Remember, we always make time for that which is important to us. Spirit's saying this is going to be a great exercise for people during retrograde season. Make a list of the things that you do make time for on a regular basis and all the things that you say you don't have time for. How many of the things that you do make time for, that's what really matters to you. That's what's important to you. That's what you value. That's what Spirit's saying. The things you make time for. The things you don't make time for are the things that you value less or that matter to you less. If your own well-being is on the list of the things you don't make time for, if your connection to Spirit is on the list of the things that you don't make time for, why is that? Why is it that you value that less? And how can you make a shift so that you value the things that truly matter to you more? I'm going to pull just a couple Zodiac of the 108 cards because we're 17 minutes into this and I haven't pulled any cards yet. I wanted to hop on and end this reading for everybody, or this video, this channeled message. I pulled some cards at the end and it went in a completely different direction. Even though Spirit is saying that everything is connected, I feel as though there's a good possibility I'm going to release them as two separate videos. So I wanted to ensure that any final messages for our collective came through. And what I'm getting is trust the timing. Trust the timing. Trust that everything you're going through, everything that's happening in your life right now is preparing you for where you're meant to go, even if it doesn't make sense. It's all connected. My right ear just popped again. It's all connected. Everything that you are experiencing, even if it feels so far away from whatever it is that you're wanting to create or manifest, even if it feels so far away from what makes sense for you, where you thought you were going, just trust the process. Know that everything is orchestrated to get you exactly where you're meant to get and go exactly when you're meant to get there and not a moment sooner. All right, because it's not just your timing that we're working with universal timing. We're working with the timing of all other people involved in situations. We're working with free will. There's a lot of variables here. And we have our own growth process. We have our own preparation process. If you're baking a cake, right? This analogy gets used all the time. There are steps that need to be taken, right? Like imagine like a loaf of bread. There's a point where you have to knead the dough, right? If you don't knead the dough and you just put it in the oven, it's not going to come out right? You can't skip steps. You can't forget to add the flour or the yeast. These things have to happen in a certain order. Your growth process has to happen in a certain order as well. You have to go through and experience the circumstances that build you into the person that you are. Some people right now, you are being pushed. Okay, you are being pushed in a direction. You are being pushed into the fire. That fire is molding you. All right, if you are going through some type of major initiation, just know that it is preparing you for what you asked for. That's why they say sometimes be careful what you wish for. You are getting your wish. It's just we don't understand when we ask to get from A to B. We don't understand everything that goes into getting us from there to there. All right. We might think that we do, but we don't always know. All right. So you are being prepared for what you asked for. All right. But there are some steps along the way. There are some steps. Don't skip steps. All right. Allow the perfect timing to unfold. Allow the understanding, right? The knowledge to become understanding, and allow that to be synthesized into wisdom, and trust the process, which is allowing for this to occur. Okay, I love you all so much. I hope that you are having an amazing eclipse season. I hope that this video was helpful for you. And yes, some of you check out the love reading that came up at the end of this reading that I separated into a different video, because that was pretty juicy for whomever that is going to be for. All right. Talk to you soon. If you want any assistance with this one-on-one, reach out to me. All of my information is in the description box below. I can support you weekly or bi-weekly with coaching sessions. I offer one-off energy healing sessions, tarot, astrology readings, you name it. We can do it. So just know that you are not alone. This is also a beautiful tribe and community. So please join if you have not yet. Subscribe so that you don't miss any videos. Make sure that you hit that thumbs up if you have not yet. Like this video. It really helps these videos get out to more people, and I deeply appreciate it. I deeply appreciate you so very, very much, you gorgeous, beautiful soul, and I'll talk to you soon.